Now let's take a look at service-related charges, which get to the invoice through deliveries. We will see picking and refiling, delivery handling charges and how they relate to the courier method, trip-related charges, reboxing, shredding, disposal and withdrawal lists, and other charges. In many cases, the picking and refiling charges will come from the box type module. This applies if the account uses box types, and the box type in question is of a volume that matches a known box type. The box retrieval price code is automatically applied for the operation of pulling a box for a delivery. The box refile price code applies to returning a box to a location when it comes in on a delivery. For boxes arriving at the record center for the first time, the box accession fee automatically replaces the box refile fee. The equivalent file price codes can also be established by box type, since files in large boxes can be more difficult to get to. You can override the picking prices for specific delivery types by clicking on delivery type exceptions. Click the Add button, select the delivery type, and specify the price codes to use for box retrieval and file retrieval. If price codes are not taken from the box type, then default price codes can be used. You can find these in the price code setup worksheet available from DocuData. To accommodate more urgent pulling with undefined box types, you can specify the box and file retrieval rate in the delivery type module. The way that EDC charges for the handling of items on deliveries can be configured per account. You can do this using the courier billing setting. Options include container, item, delivery, round trip item, by item type, and item type round trip. Looking at a delivery type, in the delivery type module on the accounting tab, we see a number of price codes. The fuel surcharge is applied once per trip for deliveries performed by the record center. This is intended so that you can adjust one price code if there are fluctuations in the fuel price. The trip charge is also applied once per trip, but will be different for most delivery types. For accounts where you charge by item type or item type round trip, you may choose to include a certain number of items for free in each trip charge. Note that this does not apply to other courier billing methods, such as by container or by item count. For accounts with multiple delivery addresses where you wish to make one delivery address more expensive to travel to than another, you may apply a supplemental trip charge to the delivery address in the delivery address module on the customer tab. The price code is applied if the courier billing method is not by item type or item type round trip. With container billing, it is applied once per outgoing transport container or box. With item, it is applied once per outgoing item, and with round trip item, it is applied once per item outgoing or returning. With delivery, it is applied once per delivery, and for imaging delivery types or faxes, it is applied once per page scanned. The return price code is used with container and item courier billing. Its description is used for any incoming handling. However, its price is only used if there were both outgoing and incoming items. If there were only incoming items, then the price from the price code would be used. This behavior enables you to apply a sort of discount to reward your customer for having you both drop off and pick up items at the same time. For accounts with multiple delivery addresses where one delivery address is more difficult to handle items at, you may increase the handling charges by a % surcharge applied to that delivery address. If the courier billing setting for an account is set to item type, then the delivery handling charges will come from the box type module. You may use separate price codes for outgoing and incoming items, and also for boxes and files. If it is set to item type round trip, then the same price code will be used for delivery handling whether the item is outgoing or incoming. With either of these courier billing methods, you may choose to include a certain number of item handlings free by specifying this on the price code for the trip charge. Now let's take a look at what gets charged for a reboxing operation. This will depend on where you do it from. If you rebox an item that's coming in on a delivery through the Return Deliveries module, then the customer will get charged for a BCHG and a 1.2 price code. This corresponds to a box change handling fee and the sale of a new cardboard box. These charges will be added to the current delivery. You can also rebox through the box type module. In this case, a new delivery will be created for billing purposes. EDC will use the delivery type specified for this purpose in the System Information module, which can be found on the Management tab. If the boxes that you've chosen to rebox currently have a status of in, then EDC will add a picking and reshelving fee in addition to the box change handling fee and the sale of a standard cardboard box. If the item is selected to go out or already out, then the additional picking and reshelving fees will not be applied. This is very useful if you wish to rebox a box before sending it to the customer. If you guarantee boxes that you sell to your customers, or if you wish to avoid potentially awkward conversations due to reboxing a box that was damaged due to collateral damage and not due to requests by the customer, then you may wish to apply a minimum touch box change charge threshold. You can configure this per account in the Customer Information module. If a box from inventory that you are reboxing has not been touched an adequate number of times at the customer's request, then the customer will not be charged back for any reboxing operation on the box. Now let's take a quick look at shredding service. Different record centers use different methods for billing for this, depending on their contracts. If you use the shredding container module of EDC, you will encounter the following price codes. You can assign price codes for rotation, ranging all the way from empty through a full container rotation charge. You may choose to use the same price code for each of these if you do not distinguish. The container emptying charge should be different from the container rotation charges in order for the system to function properly. The price code for shredding container or bag, delivery, or pickup are used only for their description, which appear on orders, picking lists, and delivery slips. With this method, the customers only billed for what is scanned to the return delivery using the PDT. Now let's look at how to configure EDC to bill for the withdrawal of items from inventory. You can configure this at the bottom of the box type module. In EDC, disposal lists are used for taking items that are in at the record center and removing them from inventory. The price code that you apply should build in any picking and handling fees, as only one price code will be applied per item for this operation. In contrast, the box deletion price code is simply a space cancellation fee that takes effect when you order items as permanently out, or when you later specify that items that are out will not be returning to the record center. All the standard picking and delivery handling fees apply. Now let's look at other charges such as line items. To add a line item to an order as you are creating it, simply press F5. The list of line items available at order entry for this account appears. For details on how to configure new price codes in the General Pricing module, please see earlier in this video on setting up price codes. You can also add line items to a delivery as it is heading out, or you can use line items to adjust delivery billing after the fact on the Accounting tab in the Delivery Billing module. At various points in the workflow, including in the Return Delivery module, you can add labor charges. This uses the system default price code MAIN. The rate used will be the hourly rate specified in the Customer Information module. And this ends our exploration of charges that end up on invoices via deliveries.